welcome everyone, and it gives me great privilege to take you through how we can maybe recruit better and build our teams. And it gives me great pleasure to do this with Bettina, who I've been working with as well. But you're going to see two sides of the story here, because I started my forever business without social media, without a website, without Facebook, without Instagram. I remember plugging something into the wall to get ISDN, but that's as far as it went. So it was very much face to face. So I believe this is the best time, and the discussions I've been having with lots of people, it's been very, very interesting. But a story came to me, and this story resonated with me as well. And it may resonate with you, or it may resonate with a friend that you have. So has anybody in here got a job? If you could just have a great. Or do you know people with jobs? Okay, so most of the room, fantastic. Okay, so imagine that you have a job, or your friend has a job, and they're at work, and the boss comes over to them and says to them, I've got some bad news and I've got some good news. What do you think you would want first? Probably the bad news, apart from one person. We'll come to that in a minute. So the bad news is you're fired. So that's pretty bad news. And you're thinking, oh, great. I might lose my house. I might have to go home and tell my partner, tell my children. Your world comes crashing down around you. And this happened to me about 12 years ago in a similar sort of way. What if you couldn't find another job? What if you actually found a job that maybe didn't pay as well, or you had to drive further away from your home, missing your family more often? You're really panicking now, and you're thinking this is really bad news. And then you think to yourself, you ask your boss, what's the good news? And the boss says you can take the rest of the day off. Okay, so not so good news. And in a panic, you say, is there any way I can keep my job? And the boss says, well, unfortunately, mechanization, artificial intelligence and bots, they're taking all the jobs. And unfortunately, we're going to have to let everybody go. And you say, well, there's nothing I can do to hang on to my job. He says, well, maybe there's one thing you can do. And that is to work 2 hours after work for free, 5 days a week. And if you can help us by taking us through this difficult time, we can do something for you. And you're thinking, okay, so I've got my job. Fantastic news. Okay, I'm working for 2 hours a day for free for 5 days a week. And he said, if you don't miss a day and you keep developing your, doing the 2 hours a day for free, 5 days a week, he said, what we can let you do after 2 years is that we can let you retire on full pay. Now you're thinking, this is amazing. So you're there, 6 months in, you go to a party. You're at that party and your friends are going, really, you're working 2 hours a day after work for free? Why don't you just go to another job and get paid for all the hours that you're doing? And you think, no, I've only got 18 months left. So you keep working away, 12 months goes on, your partner phones up and said, can you not just come home a bit early at night so you can have an earlier tea with everybody in the family? No, I can't, because I've only got 6 months left before I can retire on full pay and never have to work again. Unfortunately, you will never find that. It doesn't happen. But that's the gift that we have for other people. So what I would suggest is that you understand that maybe we can actually help people understand what we do on a daily basis in recruitment. This is a really interesting quote. By the way, you can take as many photographs as you want. I am going to be going through some of the slides pretty quick, so please feel free. But this actually shows that the recruitment process, or the sponsoring process, is about attracting and selecting the right people for that job or organization. And that's what I believe our job is. I also believe that we can do this from our Who Do You Know list. When I started, that is all I had. And that Who Do You Know list came from my address list, people I've worked with. in the past. But I will help you build your business. My job is the first bit. I will help. Anything after you is your job. And if you're not doing your job, I don't have a job. So what I'm saying there is that it's up to you to build your business to create your future. Now, what I'm going to do is ask you to take notes as you're going through, and at the end of this session, I'm going to be asking if you've got 3 things that you can take away and put into your business as from this evening. So, when I started with Forever many years ago, I came across these books that I was told to read by my sponsor, and the first book I read was in 2001. And it says on the front here, why the wellness industry will exceed the 1 trillion healthcare sickness industry in the next 10 years. And you read it and you think, oh, well, that's a nice prediction. I wonder what's going to happen. Now, the word wellness has, I think, only come onto people's vocabulary over the last couple of years. They didn't understand it before then. So Paul Zane Pilzer, he then went on to write about the wellness revolution. And that is how people can make a fortune in the wellness industry. That was 2003. And 2006, so these are old books, but they're predicting the future. So I would suggest that you always make yourself a student of what is available from people who are actually actively in the business. So where have we come from? Okay, so what we have now is that we have this massive, massive industry that we are all part of. I can't explain what $4.2 trillion is, but it is a lot of money. And the lovely thing is, our industry makes up about half of that. And how much did Bob say we're turning over in the UK? 60 million, which is a drop in the ocean. But we are in this very exciting point in time where this has grown over the last the 2 years on the slides. It has grown at twice the global economic growth, and you might recognize that from the one-to-one. So we are in a great place. I've read a lot of Jim Rohn's books. In fact, all of his things, whether it's a video, whether it's actually a book, or whether it's a CD, everything is still current today. So what we're looking for is we are looking into here. So who came into Forever for a bit of extra income? If you just keep your hands up. Okay, who came in Forever for a full-time income? And keep your hands up, everyone. And who came into the Forever for products or to meet new people? Okay, so that's most of the room, and that's how we can talk to people. That's how I talk to people in our industry. So if you'd like control of your financial future, Robert Kiyosaki's been writing books for many, many years. The first book I ever read by Robert is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it tells you how to think differently. And we always need to be current, reinventing ourselves. We also need to be thinking differently. So he says in that book that when he bought his son a bike, he bought 2 bikes for him. One that he could ride and one that he could rent. So it's all about thinking differently and being creative. So manager, I think, is the first bit, is the first promotion in the marketing plan that you need to achieve after you register. Because once you get to manager, it starts opening up everything else that Forever has to offer. I never chase case credits. I always look at the people. And you know that 15 to 25 people actively in your team having 4 case credits by using retailing and recruiting is what you need to be a master of. So these are some of the strategies that I've used. Now, what I would suggest is that you don't do all of these. I would suggest that maybe you select 3 or 4 that are your interest, to give you that excitement. And the reason for this is that when you become a master at these and when you have fun building your business with these, then it makes it all worthwhile and forever, and you never lose your mojo. If you're trying to do things on here that doesn't fit with you, it's going to seem like an uphill battle and a job. Now, I've got hundreds of things that you can choose, and these are just some of the things that I've actually tried, which you've already heard some of them on the stage already. So what do? I choose a stable prospecting stool. I believe that anybody in this audience can get to manager with their who do you know list, because the average person at the age of 21 knows 1,000 people. Not necessarily everything about them, but they do know their first name and how to get in contact with them. And that's so much easier today with social media. So I'm using social media and learning how to use it better, but reaching out to people. So a great referral that I had, I sat down with a lady and showed her a little bit about the opportunity, and she says, actually, this isn't for me. And I said, okay, who do you know locally that's into health, is an independent business lady, and also has got a great attitude? And she said, actually, you need to have a chat with Lindsay. Now, that referral came through lots of bad ways that I've asked for referrals in the past. So I've shown somebody the opportunity, and I've said, do you know anybody that would like to do what I've just shown you? No, it's not for me, and I don't know anybody. That was how I started. That referral, Lindsay's picking up her 9th profit share check this year. So I didn't know Lindsay before forever, but it came through a trusted friend who gave me that referral. But the better you can get at asking for your referral, the narrower the funnel that you can ask for that referral, it will really help you massively. So if you know 1,000 people, and those 1,000 people know 1,000 people, you've got enough people that you will never ever run out of your who do you know list. So the who do you know list is where I go to every single day. I set my 7-day plan out on a Sunday, and I just make sure that I'm in connection with those people. The other thing is business networking is great because everybody is there to help each other. And I've seen people do this really badly. I've seen people in business networking trying to sell products. I've seen them try to get people into their business. It's not the way to do it. Business networking, for me, this is a long-term strategy. So I had a friend that moved to our village. She bumped into me on social media. She says, oh, I didn't realize you lived here. She says, 10 years ago when you showed me the opportunity, I said, yes, I do remember, I think. Kate's now married, she changed jobs, she's moved to a new house, and her career has changed. And she registered and joined the business within 24 hours of meeting me because I'd kept in touch with her, building a relationship over 10 years. So who's been in the business less than 10 years? Okay, most of the room. You have to stick at this because you never know when people are going to be coming back into your life again. So do treat this as a long-term opportunity. I also had a mum who had a mutual friend, and she said, oh yeah, I saw you ages ago at one of the business presentations, like maybe 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. She said, well, you need to chat with my daughter now. She said, I'm not using the products anymore. I'm not building business with Forever, but my daughter might be really interested. So I sat down with the daughter. She brought her husband, who's a gymnastics instructor going for level 3. He said, this is me. I've already got a big circle of friends and people I train with. So I'm now looking for people who have got circles of influence, those people that have already got a ready-made designed audience. So that came in, he registered on the 21st of January. By the 31st of January, he'd already done his 4 case credits. And without me actually saying anything to him apart from an initial planning meeting. We are going to get together on Monday again, and he's already got his 2 first launches booked for February. But he knew that the products were going to help him with his ankles that he's abused over the years doing gymnastics, but he's also got a ready-made audience, so he's already got 4 customers. So make sure that your 3-legged stool or 4-legged stool is your focus every single week and every single month. And in Forever, one of the great things that you have is that you have your own coach. So has anybody here not got an upline? Okay, I saw a half a wave from somebody. Okay, who owns Forever? Rexmorn. We all have an upline eventually. So please go to your upline or have somebody that you're working with. I'm very privileged to work with somebody outside of our team, and I get lots of inspiration, and I'm hoping it's a two-way street. But in Forever, we have our own coaches who can help us develop the skills that you need, and it's the skills that you need to practice. So you need to become the best you can be. And after every time I show somebody a one-to-one or a business presentation, or I've had a phone call with somebody, or I've sent a message, what I tend to do is reflect on that and say to myself, how well did that go? Could I have done any better? So I always approach myself through life, walking down that corridor thinking, that meeting I've just had, how could I get better at it? So I'm always making myself better along that journey. I'd probably suggest you take a quick photo of this one because I think it's really important. And this is your takeaway of how you become better. So who's been in Forever less than a year? Okay. So those of you who've raised your hands, have you sat down with yourself or somebody else and been through a one-to-one over 30 times? Because what we need to do is we need to get very skillful at not presenting, but we need to get very skillful at presenting the opportunity. So I remember when I first started, I used to get fantastic presentation skills, but I wasn't presenting the opportunity very well. And then I honed my skills. I went to shadow my upline. So here's an idea. How about you phoned up or sent a message to your upline and say, can I come and spend a day with you? How much would you learn? Okay, here's a bit of homework for you. What if you phoned your upline and said, okay, I booked a week off work. I need to come and work with you for a whole week. How different would your business be? How different would your confidence be and your skills? So that's my challenge to you at getting good at doing all of these. So when I sit down with somebody for the first time and show them the one-to-one and take them around the business cycle, I expect them to do one of three things. Either use the products and become a customer, I expect them to register, and I also expect them to give me a referral. And if that doesn't happen, it's something wrong that I've done, because most people would like a better life, otherwise they wouldn't be sitting in front of you. So what I would suggest is that you become great at doing these, but also have in your mind your diary ready, you have a nice pen, you know when the next business presentation is, you know how to do the next business presentation. If you're brand new, I would phone up your sponsor and say, I'm going in to see this person, when are you available so we can actually have maybe an online business presentation or online coaching, a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 with my new person. So you're already thinking ahead in your mind, you're expecting them to do something. If you're not willing to learn, nobody can help you. You cannot build this business on your own. This business does not work like that. I've been actually sponsoring people every single year, every single quarter since I started 18 years ago, because I know sponsoring people and recruiting people into the team is going to give me long-term income. If I wanted short-term income, I'd be in my last job, because it was easy, short-term income came and that's great. But I want long-term income so it can give me choices. So a couple of top tips on here. Again, you're going to have to go away and work on these, and if you don't know the answers, you've always got your sponsor to help you. It's really important, I think, to be around other Forever business owners at business presentations so you can take on board their messages. I know we've got faces of Forever, and that's great, but how more powerful is it to say, hi John, this is Sally. Sally's got the same job that your wife has got. make sure that you're networking within the network and building your own stories, one for the business and one for the product side of it. When I'm out business networking, people have to know, like, and trust me. And they do that because I'm always out helping people in traditional businesses, maybe connecting people together. So I came across a lady yesterday, did a one-to-one with her. She says, I'm actually having lunch with this other lady. And I said, actually, I do know her. I saw her do a presentation. She runs a very successful haulage company and training for haulage drivers around the country. As a female, she really had to sort of step up and be at the top of her a game in what she was doing. And I'm saying, I can now pass you on to somebody else who's looking for that type of work. So I'm always connecting people, always building their trust. What's really important is to grow. This is where everything's really easy. This is when you first start, you're taking the products, maybe you're sharing a product with somebody, and they're loving the product. So this is sort of a nice, safe control. You're talking to your best mate about the opportunity just to sort of bounce ideas off. So this is the comfort zone. We will never grow here. This is where we start. We can sort of pop out to here, find excuses, be affected by other people's opinions, which always happens, and then we can pop back in here. But where the magic really happens is here. Having some new skills, practicing what you're doing, maybe extending your comfort zone by working out problems. We all have challenges, we all have problems, we're all on different journeys, we all have different challenges coming into our life. We have to put our blinkers in. Don't compare yourself with anybody because it is your journey. So we all have the answers to our problems. We just need to find out what they are. And the further out you go, setting some new goals, maybe connecting with the online goal mapping, conquering objectives, finding your purpose. If you don't know your purpose, we can use Google. It'll always give us the answers. And living your dreams. This is where the magic happens. This is where the growth happens. And your life is always changing. And it's vital to get into the growth zone because this is how people jump off the hamster wheel. And when I was working 90 hours a week and driving for 60,000 miles a year, I enjoyed my job, but I hated my balance. And my brother said to me, he said, do you want to do that for the rest of your life? And I said, no, I don't. So I had to really step out of my comfort zone. So I'm now helping people understand and imagine a better life and showing them the possibilities of what their future could be. And this will only happen if you help others get what they want. So, are you in the right time at the right place with the right company? I would say that if somebody like Bill Gates can say, network marketing is the place to be to change your life, I would say, yes, we are. We're in the right place. So thank you very much. I'm going to hand over to Bettina now, but whilst I'm doing that, I just want to ask you a question, or a number of questions that you've written down, and I want to ask you whether you've picked out 3 things that maybe you can put into your business straight away over the next coming month, quarter, and year. Thank you. So, thank you. Thank you. Gin round there.
Oh, lovely. I'm going to pour me one in a minute.
Oh, that's wonderful. Hold your hair up.
So has anybody got anything that they can just share with the group? Christine?
Yeah. Have fun and make sure you choose the activities that you enjoy. That way you're never going to lose your mojo.
Thank you, wonderful. Did everybody hear that? Perfect. Is there anybody else who would like to share?
I think I'm going to concentrate on organising more events, local events, locally, and that will allow me to build an authority in the field, especially in the wellness and health, so I can build the trust with other people, so I can do the presentation as well. So that's
fantastic. Thank you very much for that. So it's really important to be visible in your local community. So do all your neighbours know what you do? And if they don't, it would be a really good idea to get out there. So I'd like to now introduce you to Bettina, who's going to take you through the next slot, a different angle of recruiting.
Thank you. Hi everybody, fantastic. It's really weird actually speaking like this and you having your headphones on. So I'm just going to put all my bits and pieces down here 1 second. So that was a great slot, thank you very much Phil. Is it working? That's it. Perfect. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Bettina Biazzo and I was cabin crew for 19 years. I absolutely loved what I did. Got to travel the world, meet new people. But then when I had my 2 boys and met my husband, things had to change. I got quite stressed out with work, long hours, and I knew that the flying just wasn't for me. In 2016, I joined Forever through the products. I absolutely loved the products. And I was very quickly shown, well, it was through the Clean 9, and I was quickly shown how that I could get started. So I joined just initially really to get the discount of 35%, but very quickly I hit my first promotion in 5 weeks. This was still while I was flying, and I could see that this was definitely a way out of getting out of my flying career. So 4 years on now, there is no more flying. I do Forever very much full time, but in the nooks and crannies. I've just qualified. I qualified for Eagle Manager last year, and I've just recently qualified for Eagle Manager as well for this year as well. So my top tip for anybody that's not yet manager, get to manager and go for the incentives. And if you're already manager, go for Eagle, because I can promise you it is one of the best trips. My little boys still talk about it. The free trip, all the trips that I've paid so much money for in the past, and the Eagle trip was the best trip that they've ever been on. So today, I am going to share with you how I have recruited in 2019 27 people. So I'm going to go through the ways that I use, the way I sponsor, what methods I use, and hopefully you'll be able to take away with you today some tips and things like that to help your business as well. So, who do you know list? Who here has got a proper who do you know list? I'm not talking about a few 5 names here, 10 names there. Who here has got a proper full who do you know list? Okay, there's still a few little hands there that haven't got a who do you know list. If you don't have a who do you know list, you need to get one, and you need to keep building your who do you know list, and that's what I'll talk about a bit later on. Facebook, I love Facebook. I use it a lot. For those in my team, they know that I use it a lot. And I always say Facebook is your shop window. So if you actually look on my Facebook, you wouldn't actually know that I do Forever Living. It's all about lifestyle, what the business has given me, how it's helping my family, having fun, just literally sharing my life on Facebook. If I actually wasn't in Forever, I don't think I would actually use Facebook. But that's the way I use it. I use it actually for a business. Instagram. I love Instagram, so I use a lot of that. Contact marketing, carding, and obviously through customers. That's how I've recruited 27 people. So, what I would say, just going back to the other slide, choose, like Phil said, choose things that you can actually, that you're confident with doing. There's no point walking out of here today saying, right, I'm going to start Instagram now, if you haven't, not being rude, if you haven't got a clue or you're not quite sure, because it's going to waste time, or we haven't got time to waste. We need to act, get on with it, and sponsor loads of people. So my first one of 2019, this was Annabelle. So Annabelle, I used to fly with Annabelle. She joined in January. I used to fly with her. I met her at an event, and she loved the products, and she stopped buying the products for a while. But I still carried on speaking to her, carried on, because everybody knows follow-up is key, whether it's customers or prospects. So I'd speak to her, and eventually she came to me and said, oh, I haven't been using the products for a while, but do you know what, Bettina, you are so positive on Facebook. I love your lifestyle. I fly. I can't do this for much longer. I want to hear what it is that you do. So we met for a coffee, and she joined. She did the C9, and she's gone to become a very successful business owner. Sammy was the second one. Now, Sammy, I went to a hen do, and Sammy actually is a hairstylist, and she did my hair for hen do at Ascot. Now, every time I go out and meet people, my key objective is to get them onto my Facebook, because I know once I've got them on my Facebook, I want them to see my lifestyle, see what I'm all about, and start building that relationship. So she did my hair. She said, oh, what do you do, Bettina? I said, I have my own business in health and wellness. So I didn't start saying, I'm a forever business owner. It's a company, 40 years, cash rich, debt free. I didn't give her any of that. I just said, I have my own business in health and wellness. And I left it at that because it creates intrigue. She did my hair. I said, let's connect on Facebook, and then I can tag you in on my posts and say, I recommend you for doing my hair. After the event, I did that, and I said to her at that point, I then messaged her and said, Sammy, I've got some amazing products I've been thinking about. I'd love to give you some to try, and I'd love to hear what you think of them. So we met up, she tried the products, she loved them. She then did the C9, and now she's become a business owner and sharing the products with her people that she does her hairstyling with and pamper events and things like that. The next one, a lot of Sams here. The next one, Sam. So every year, me and my husband and my two boys, we do our goal boards. It's a big thing. So New Year's Eve, we actually sit around the table and we do our goal boards, and we all get involved. And it's quite a big thing, and the boys love it. They want extra days out, they want Legoland, whatever it may be. And Sam commented on one of my posts, on this post, saying, oh, I'd love to see what your goals are. I'd love to find out more about what it is you do. So I took it offline. So I always take it offline. I never starting a conversation on Facebook. I always message those people privately. And I said to her, oh, the boys want this days out and that. And she said, oh, gosh, she said, that would be amazing. She said, I fly. I've got no money. I'm stressed out. I'm tired. I work weekends. She's giving me all her hot buttons. I'm like, yeah, keep going, letting her talk, because people love to talk about themselves. Kept going. So I met up with her. We had coffee. And I highlighted all those points that she said to me on the phone. I highlighted and said, this is what can forever help you with. I can help you have more days out with your children. I can help you cut down your flying hours. I can help you have some more money at the end of the month. So that's how Sam joined. So Andrea, who I never actually met, just put these somewhere. I'm not actually using them, but put them down. So Andrea, who I never actually met, so every week I do a Instagram poll. And my Instagram is connected to my Facebook. So as soon as I post anything on Instagram, it goes straight to my Facebook. So Andrea was following me. She's into her fitness, so we were the same, and never really spoke at all or messaged. But she commented. Oh, sorry, you can't see. Sorry, I can see it on here, and you can't. That's it. And she commented on one of my stories. Would you like to arrange a call and find out how the business can work for you? It's brilliant, these polls. I absolutely love them. I do them about once a week, and they're fantastic because people are literally answering the question for you, and then you can go and find out who said yes and go back to them and speak to them in person. So I always do a positive on each, so it's not yes or no. Always do 2 positive answers that they can answer to. So Andrea came back from Success Day. It would be exactly this time last year, and she said, yes, I'd want to know more. So I messaged her, we got chatting, told her again all the hot buttons, found out what it was that she was looking for, and again, Andrea joined. I've only met Andrea twice. She's sort of taken a step back into the business now, but we still communicate, and she still orders for personal use as well. So then we have Celia. So Celia I actually worked with in my flying. Celia, she was from my Who Do You Know list, and again joined through the Clean 9. She absolutely loved the Clean 9, got massive results from it, and joined through the C9. How many people here have their customers that actually join the business? Quite a few. I get a lot of people that are scared or petrified that if a customer joins. It's a good thing. You want your customers to join because the majority of the people that actually start forever are through the products. I started through the Clean 9. Chrissy in my team, she started through the Clean 9. Dee started through the products. Anya started through the products. All of them started through the products. So, don't be scared because you think of all that network that they've got of their people that could then potentially be a customer. And also, we're always looking for new customers, so you're never going to run out. Selena, she was a school mum. Again, she had commented on a post that I did on Facebook and said, what is it that you do, Bettina? You come to the school, you're in the gym stuff, you then go to the gym, I see you at the gym, you come back, you might do a few things here and there, you come back to the school run, you're always with your boys, you're always having a laugh. What is it that you do? I explained to her what it was I did. And again, she joined the business. Lorena was another friend of mine who I used to fly with, again, through my Who Do You Know list. Lorena actually didn't join until 2 years after I prospected her the first time. So when somebody says to me, it's not right time, it's not for me, it doesn't worry me because I know that at some point they will join. 100% I know that because I'm in it for the long haul, and the longer that I keep doing the business and the longer that people can see what my team are achieving, what I'm achieving, I know when it's the right time they will join. So just go down here. Don't want to tip my headphones off. Right, so Maruna, now this is an interesting one. So my 2 little boys, they used to go to something called Kumon, which is like a maths thing after school. And it was at a different hall this particular time. So I dropped them in, and you have to wait for about 45 minutes till they do their maths. And they had a huge notice board, and I was like, brilliant, I haven't used this notice board before. So who carries any samples, business cards, anything around with them every single day? Do you use it, or do you just leave it in your bag and go maybe to get a coffee at Costa and be like, oh yeah, there's a notice board, and get your coffee and walk back out? Anyone? You all use it. Fantastic. So this little pouch here comes with me everywhere. I've got aloe vera, the leaflets, got my Hello Neighbour cards, my business cards, I've got samples of the products, I've got the smile cards, and I've got the one that you see on there, actually no, because I've used it yesterday at the services, so I haven't actually got that one. But, so, Marina was there, she was right in front of me, and I got my smile card, and I whacked it right in front of the notice board. And I didn't say anything, and she looked up and she went, what's this? I said, oh, it's my business. And she said, oh, what's it all about? And I said, oh, I've got my own business in health and wellness. Now, normally, I don't like telling people what I do at that time. I like to say, look, I'm busy. I've got 2 kids that are running around like crazy. I need to crack on. Give me your phone number. Let's connect on Facebook, and I'll send you some information. But I had 45 minutes to kill, so I had no choice. I had to tell her about it. So I told her, it's health and wellness. It was the aloe vera company. Had she heard of it? She hadn't heard of it, which was great. And it is amazing how people still don't know what we do because we're all in it together. We presume everybody knows, but actually people don't. So I said to her, look, if you're interested, I can drop some products around to you. Where do you live? And she said to me, oh yeah, that'd be amazing. So I said, okay then, great. I said, give me your address and I'll come around tomorrow and I'll drop the products. And I said, I'll send you a little message first. So I sent her the message the next day about 11 o'clock. She didn't answer. And I thought, oh God, well, I've got her address. What should I do? Should I just bite the bullet and go? And I thought, well, I'm just going to go. So I went round after the school run, knocked on the door, went round with my gels. So I always take one of each gel for people to try, just a little shot. Some of the products, went through the products, and she said, right, how do I get started? And I was a bit lost for words for once. So I was like, oh, well, you can start now. I said, we can get your box and let's get started. And she said, yeah, okay, let's do it. So there she was, she joined. She sponsored her sister who's in India. And she's doing very well at the moment. So again, take everything with you and be prepared. And you literally do not know what's around the corner. Rudy's on this slide, but she doesn't know it yet. Donna was another C9 customer, so I have a lot of customers of mine that do the C9 that then join the business because they love the products. I give them a lot of help, a lot of guidance, and they love the product so much that I always say to them, the key thing I say is, can you see yourself drinking this gel for the next year? And they look at me and go, oh yeah, Bettina. I said, okay, well, that's great then. Would you like a lifetime discount? That's what I say. Would you like a lifetime discount? And they say to me, yes, please. And I say, okay, well, you can have a discount of 35%. It can potentially move up to 48%, but you can get a discount for life. So that really, really works for me. Joanna, she was again off my who do you know list. I actually worked with Joanna in crewing. She was the lady that called me and my husband out at 4 a.m. for a flight. Hi Bettina, it's Joanna here, we need you for a flight. And I'd be like, eh. And I actually was not friends with her on Facebook until about a year and a half ago. So you, Maddie. Until about a year and a half ago, I wasn't actually friends with her on Facebook, and she actually popped up on my suggested friends. And we had about 48 mutual friends, so I clicked on it and I had a look, and I was like, oh my God, that's Joanna that used to call me out. So we started speaking. I said, what are you up to now? Because for those of you that don't know, Monarch went bust. Was it two years ago? So thank goodness for Forever. I wasn't one of the ones that had to go and look for another job because I had Forever Living, thank goodness. So she was actually dog grooming. So I said to her, oh my God, these products would be amazing for your business. And she was like, really? What, aloe vera? I was like, yeah. So she got the tooth gel. I went through all the products with her. And she joined, and now she offers her products to her customers, well, her dogs and the owners. So that was a good one. Rudy, who's sat here now today. So Rudy, she joined when we went to Dubai for the Global Rally. I was in the #1 lounge with one of my other teamies. And Rudy gave excellent customer service. And I said to Rudy, you'd be absolutely brilliant at what I do. And she said, well, what do you do? And I said, look, we're catching a flight. We haven't got time. Here's my card. Let's connect. And we got on Facebook. And the rest is history, shall we say? Rachel, again, now I do this as well through Facebook polls. Does anybody else do Instagram or Facebook polls? Yeah? Instagram is definitely the way forward. A lot of people are now that I'm speaking to about the business, content marketing, a lot of people, when I try and get them on Facebook, they're actually more on Instagram now rather than Facebook. So again, this poll went from my Instagram to my Facebook, but Rachel isn't on Instagram on this occasion. So would you like to know how you and your family can come on a cruise around the Bahamas next year for free? Again, quite a few people voted for it, so I go to every single person that voted, send them a message. And Rachel, I met, we used to fly together, and she was part-time with BA. She didn't really want to carry on flying. And I told her all about it. She was an absolute skincare junkie. So she was like, I just want the box, to be honest, just to get all these amazing products. And Rachel joined, and again is building a good business as well. So, who would have thought a picture of a toilet roll would get me a new prospect? So, Monica, I never actually met Monica. So I had some, what I do is I advertise on some of my local group sites, and I was advertising about pamper parties. And Monica commented and said that she wanted a pamper party. Anyway, with her busy schedule, it never materialised. But again, we became friends on Facebook, and we were always messing each other backwards and forwards. Anyway, she saw this. And she's like, where did you get your cleaner from? I really need a cleaner. So I messaged her and said, oh, my cleaner's amazing. This is her number. And she said, oh, she said, you don't think you could help me find a man as well? I was like, well, maybe not a man, because she's single. I said, maybe not a man. I said, but I could probably help you with what I'm doing. She said, yeah. She said, what is it that you do? She said, I'm really intrigued. So we met at one of our pubs locally, over a bottle of wine. Bearing in mind, this was the first time I'd met Monica. We met, and she joined there and then as well. So that was fantastic, all from picture of the toilet roll. But the thing is with the toilet roll is, again, it's showing my lifestyle. You know, a lot of people maybe, you know, that's a sort of a luxury to have a cleaner, maybe, you know, to go to the park with your kids, take a picture of yourself with your, you know, outside while people in the office. Have a little think outside the box and see what people are doing at that day that you could do something a bit different. So the rest of the people then that I sponsor, so Karen was a customer, Kelly was a customer, Jamini and Anya here, so Anya's at the front here as well. So these both, Anya and Jamini, they went to my little boy's swimming. You know, 35 minutes, my little boy's swimming. We're watching them swim. I've got two ladies either side of me. What am I going to do? Of course I'm going to start talking to them and build a relationship and tell them sort of, you know, in a dignified way, gradually what I do. And we built a very good relationship. Anya joined, as did Jamini, but Anya's actually on stage later for her supervisor. Emma was a referral again from a C9. Steph is an events manager. Now, Steph, the year previously, I did an event at a hotel, a Christmas event, and Steph actually used the products at that point, but she said she stopped using them. So when I called up to book my event for the same year, the following year, she said to me, you know, I've been using the gels, but I've been using them from Holland and Barrett. And I said, to be honest with you, Steph, because I had a bit of a relationship with her. I said, Steph, you might as well just be throwing that £5 down the drain, honestly. I said, you need to try my gel. So I went round before the event and gave her some gels, gave her some products. And again, she joined, started the C9, and is building a fantastic business as well. Teresa was at my gym, has been at my gym for a very long time. She does classes, and I knew that she worked for Thomas Cook. So the morning, the day after the thing happened with Thomas Cook, when they all went bust, it was absolutely torrential rain. And I remember I walked into the gym and it was shut because the roof had come down. So I ran back to my car and Teresa was coming towards me. And I said, Teresa, there's no gym this morning. I said, the whole gym's shut down. And she said, my day just can't get any worse. And I was like, oh no, what's happened? Thinking, stupidly, I forgot that she was at Thomas Cook. She said, it's horrendous. She said, Thomas Cook. And I said, look, I've been there. I said, I know what it's like. She started crying. I felt absolutely terrible. And I just said to her, Teresa, we need to have a chat. I need to tell you what I do. I said, let's connect on Facebook and I'll send you some information. So we connected. She sent me a friend request. I sent her some information and met up, gave her some products to try, and she said, I'm going to have a little think about it. She had a think about it. I went off to Dallas for the Eagle Manager Retreat. I came back. I turned my phone on when we landed, and Teresa said, I'm ready to start. And I went to Gio. I went, look, what a great message to land back to, that she wants to start the business. So she thought about it, taken her time, tried the products, and realised that it was a good opportunity for her. Natalie is a very good friend of mine as well, but she's a dog groomer. Known each other for many years. She's done eyelashes, and I've asked her about the business before, and it wasn't the right time. Again, I probably asked her about 3 years ago, but now's the right time for Natalie. Trevor everybody knows Trevor in my team. Trevor is one of my customers, my Freedom Gel drinkers. Now, with Trevor, he's got his own fireplace company. So there was no way, if I said to Trevor, right, Trevor, do you want to join the business and get 35% discount? He would have just switched off. He's got his own fireplace business. He's a granddad. His wife's not well. It would have been a big no. So instead, I said to Trevor, you're drinking this gel now for over a year. Do you want a lifetime discount? And he said, yeah. He said, how do I do it? So he joined purely to get the discount. So it was the same thing. He bought the box, but I just changed the wording, and it's the wording that can make the big difference. Hayley is my cleaner, so I've had 2 cleaners that joined the business. She came to me because I asked her to use the MPD. Who uses the MPD here? Amazing. How cool is it? Isn't it just the best product? I love it. And I said to Hayley, you need to try this product, because she used to come in with this big box of products, about 20, 30 products. I said, you don't need all those products. I said, you could just use one product. I said, and I would like you, I said, I don't want you using all those products. I want you to use my product and see the difference. So Hayley joined, and she uses the gels, and she uses a lot of the products. Leanne, I met at a networking event. Leanne does fat freezing, those things that you suck out the fat, and does all sorts. And I met her at the event, and she said to me, she said, what do you do? And I said, I'm in health and wellness. And she said, oh, I'm looking to do some products, she said, alongside my treatments. And I said, well, this will be perfect for you. I said, gosh, I said, our products are insane. And she said to me, she said, what's the startup cost? She said, what, about £1,000, £2,000? I said, £2,000? I went, oh gosh, I said, you can get top selling products, 18 of the best products, for £199.75. She was like, you're kidding me. I said, I'm not. I said, let's meet up for a coffee. So we met for a coffee, took all the products around, because another thing that I do is I actually have a little starter kit of all the products that I take to my one-to-ones, and I take to when I speak to people. So I can literally get the products out, literally all of them. I get the gels for them to try, the propolis, everything. And I lay them all out, and I say, out of all those products, which products do you think you would use? And they sort of look, don't they? They sort of look at the products and think, Well, I say, hang on a minute. You wash your hair, don't you? They go, yeah, I wash my hair, right. You brush your teeth. You use a deodorant. You use a moisturiser. You use all these other bits, and they go, oh yeah. I said, it's just literally just changing brands. But when they see all those products that they actually get in the box with all the literature and everything right in front of them, they actually say to me, gosh, you get a lot, don't you, for £199.75? And I said, you do. I said, you get a huge amount of products. So Leanne joined. Nicola, she goes to my Cage Fit class. Again, I went with products. So I always go as well as a little top tip. I always take a little bag of products with me, like a little experience pack, and pretend I'm taking it to somebody. I'm not. But I just go to my gym and I sort of just lay it on the side, because people will be like, oh, what's in your bag, Bettina? And I say, oh my God, I'm just dropping this off to somebody later. And they go, well, what is it? Oh my God, so have you not tried these products? They're amazing. So I get them out, obviously they're already open. I start getting them to put it on, get my shot glasses out, have a shot. By the time the class has started, 20 people have had shots. They're all buzzing. Some have had RG. And, I do get a lot of customers that way. So Nicola joined that way. Then Bonnie, another networking event, she became a customer of mine with the Freedom. And she just wanted the lifetime discount. She's a travel agent, so she said, I'm not interested in building a business, but I want to get the products for free. Well, not free, cheaper. And she's already given me 2 referrals, which I said to her you could have had, but she wanted to give them to me. So my commitment this year that I'm doing with Emma Sproul's team and my team is 50 new people every month. So that's not including my Who Do You Know list. I'm talking about 50 new people every month. So actually, I met 53 new people in January. So far in February, 9 extra people that I've met through the business. So that's contact marketing, speaking to people when I'm out and about. 50 new people a month. I guarantee if you find 50 new people a month that you speak to and get them connected, get them on your Facebook, your business is going to explode. But I'm not just talking about forgetting the 7-day plan. I'm talking about doing that additionally, yeah? So this is my 7-day plan. Who does 7-day plans? Because that's a real big bugbear of mine. Yeah? You don't do a 7-day plan and then just pop it in your cupboard. You actually do the 7-day plan and message those people on that 7-day plan, yeah? So really quickly then, Monica, I left my Dear Neighbour letters. Whenever I go to the gym, I literally leave a paper trail. They're really effective, my Dear Neighbour letters. I get probably about 2-3 people call me a week from those, literally wherever I go. Petrol station, everywhere. Just while we're on this subject, who today, or if you came here last night, who's prospected anybody since we've been here? Is that all? 4 or 5 people? Nobody's. Who's had a coffee this morning? Who's bought a coffee? Who's travelled up north and stopped at the services? Did anybody speak to anybody? Did anybody give anybody a card? Why not? Seriously, why not? So I've got a one-to-one later with the lady who works at the Hilton, because I spoke to her. I've given out 4 cards to somebody over in that area who does coffee and said, do you know why we're here? Do you know what we're doing? And they said they haven't got a clue. They did not know, even though it's full of forever, they didn't even have a clue what it's all about. Pardon? Well, it is a weekend, isn't it? I don't know. But seriously, guys, when people say to me, oh, I don't know anyone, I can't find any people, there's people everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah? Go and speak to people. We've got our hands on something that is incredible. Go and shout about it, because I do. And I promise you, if you don't go and speak to someone, all my team are going to go and speak to people, because I tell them to go and do it. So you need to go and do it. You could easily get 5, 6, 7 names on here today, easily. Chrissy laughed at me last night because I started talking to the waiter. Oh, where are you from? He was actually a bit grumpy, so I thought, I wouldn't actually want to work with him. But I started, and Gio, my husband, goes, oh, she's at it again. But now he actually starts talking to people, and we do it together. But it's so important, talk to people. There could be diamonds all around here, literally everywhere. So you'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. Honestly, touch your business every day, 7-day plan, message people, talk to people, share the product, share the opportunity. This business will not fail you. So I wish you all the best for 2020, and go and smash it. Thank you.